Hello, are you well? I thought you were, because you've made a wise choice clicking to watch this video. Whether it was the Greek bust that enticed you or the promise of happiness, I hope you find some tips to lift your spirits. I want to talk about a Greek philosopher called Epicurus, who thousands of years ago addressed one of the most fundamental conundrums of existence, how to be happy. Something particularly pressing in the present moment, but indeed throughout all our lives. Epicurus was born around 341 BC on the Aegean island of Samos, and his insights on happiness remain relevant thousands of years later. Epicurus followed the 5th century philosopher Democritus, known as the laughing philosopher, in asserting an atomistic physics. The universe is a collection of atoms swirling around according to mechanical laws, and we live and die in the celestial eddy of atoms. And yet, whilst we're alive, through some incredible good fortune, we have consciousness and reason and free will. And this means we have everything we need to follow a life of happiness and pleasure. Epicurus tells us that we are only on this planet for a few years before we disappear. And while we're here, there's nothing we have to do. There's no one we have to please. There are no commandments we have to follow. We can choose simply to enjoy ourselves, rather than finding reasons to be miserable. We can make the radical choice of happiness. This was and remains a rather scandalous suggestion, yet it is perhaps a rather helpful attitude. Does this mean that without fear of Judgment Day or retribution from those enforcing social norms, that there would be raves and riots on the street? I wish, but probably not. And most importantly, it does not mean we chase happiness or bemoan ourselves and the universe when it is unattained. Ironically, the more we chase happiness, the more it eludes us. But it opens up to the awareness that if we set ourselves up in the right conditions, we can improve our chances of attaining happiness. It takes effort to achieve a life of pleasure because we often seek pleasure in the wrong places. We make bad choices, and this leaves us emotionally agitated. Epicurus tells us, no pleasure is in itself evil, but the things which produce certain pleasures entail annoyances many times greater than the pleasures themselves. That is to say, we often forget the sacrifices required in pursuing what we believe will make us happy. On that note, seeking some more modern advice from the man neuroscientists allege is the happiest person in the world might be useful. Matthew Ricard has some very different ideas about happiness from modern Western culture, but they align quite remarkably with the Epicurean conception of happiness. Happiness is a skill, according to Matthew. Anyone can improve their base level of happiness. Life is about our happiness, so we should take out time to focus on how to be happier. We focus on our external conditions too much. If going out is what makes us happy, if we can't go out, then we're losing a chance at happiness. Matthew reminds us happiness is eternal. Just because we can't go out, it doesn't mean we can't be happy. And finally, meditation can transform the mind, and we'll look at some of Matthew's tips regarding this in a moment. But more than anything, we need to be persuaded that the best way to find personal happiness is through altruism and civic engagement. All the evidence shows that the best ways to be happy are to work for other people's happiness. We need to be more altruistic and other-orientated. We must resist the temptation during these winter months of a pandemic to retreat into ourselves. And the Boswell's Wellbeing website will be full of so many wonderful activities to encourage us to think outside ourselves. If you want to go for the Epicurean option, food and friends will be central, and a simple Epicurean exercise might involve cooking a favourite meal for your loved ones, getting dressed up and treating yourselves to a dinner party and revelling with a playlist of your favourite music. I'll leave you with the most simple of meditation techniques offered by Matthew Ricard. Sit with a straight, unsupported back for maximum blood and breath flow through the body. This position improves wakefulness, presence and awareness. Place the hands flat on thighs and place feet firmly on the floor. Close your eyes and begin slowing your breathing. Begin by controlling your breathing. Breathe in through the nostrils and out softly through the mouth. Time each inhale and exhale to last 3 seconds. Count the number in your head and try to think of nothing else. If you find your mind drifting, just return to the count. Listen to music if this helps to distract you. I personally enjoy a good panpipe medley weaved together with some wind chimes. And studies have shown completing this exercise for a minimum of 5 minutes each day begins to have a measurable impact on the increase of alpha waves, which are a brain function responsible for decreasing anxiety and depression and increasing tolerance, memory and goal setting. I hope at the very least this has provided a distraction, but more than anything, I hope you will explore the rest of the Boswell's Wellbeing website for more ways to be happy. I hope you have a wonderful day.